So I think we're gonna continue our detour. See what is up with this place. It's very blue. Wow, you're fast. Oh, so this seems like a very dangerous cliff to use my weapon art on. Oh. Oh. Uh-huh. Frozen maggot, mainly found in jails. Frozen maggots that somehow continue to wriggle. Well then they're not that frozen. The maggots develop in great jar innards and are an invaluable source of sustenance to the prisoners. Okay, so that makes me more certain now. Because I kept saying can be used in jar innards. I'm like, what does that mean? Am I going to make a jar Pokemon or something? Like the warrior jars? And yeah, that does seem like it's not talking about cooking or crafting. Which makes sense because all the things that we make stuff out of, which look like jars, are called pots. So the jar word is only used in the context of the warrior jars, and I guess the non-warrior jars, whatever. But the fact that so many items are usable as jar innards is interesting, because that raises questions about, like, well, yeah, like, what do you mean usable? Like, I use them? That's a new system, right? I don't think we did a system with jar innards before. That guy had a mushroom for a shield. That's just a thought. Ender just processed what his shield was. He had a big colorful blue... I can lock onto you, sorry, bye-bye, die. So many frozen maggots. The lids of these jars are wax, right? I've never been entirely sure. It looks like a wax seal as opposed to, like, I don't know, just like a metal cap, I guess. It's always looked like it's just a different material than the rest of the jar, but I guess the jar itself is made of, like, ceramic, right? Could be metal, but I kind of always figured it was wax. I do kind of wonder if it was wax, though, then, like, how is he getting... How do they replenish their innards? Replenished innards. That was 6 maggots. Yeah, Alexander, first off, too high up, but calmness. Oh, first off, too high up. Sure. Holy shit, we are high up. Okay. Motherfucker. No. 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 Okay, we're fine. From Software really loves that trick. They love the trick of giving you what looks like a ledge that's this far and then just dropping you. Which, it's a clever trick, it's also terrifying. Like, it's extremely clever level design because of the fact that normally when you walk up to a cliff, you'd be like, I don't know, man, should I drop down there? I don't know, man, and then, like, you might think, like, what if I can't find my way back? Or, like, what if I can't survive the fall? Can I survive the fall? I can't tell. Which is extra goofy in Elden Ring because of the fact that, like, fall damage is shockingly low until it's abruptly 100% of your health. Just really weird fall damage thresholds in this game. That's a pot way up there. Oh, there's chains, so I guess that's how they're up there. Oh yeah, definitely. I looked at the hardest pot to interpret, and then right over here it's really obvious what's happening. It looks like snowfall. Another example of weird weather, or just weird skies. Like we had stars before, now we have this. But anyway, you remove that indecision by just having the entire ledge crumble. And what they do is that, as you can see, like, the area they made crumble, it was so big, there was no way of backtracking or escaping how much of it was about to fall. That person was wearing Millennia's helm. But they also don't wait for you to reach the ledge, because reflexively you want to walk right up to the ledge and look down for the best view. And they drop you before you actually get that far, which means you don't get the chance to make the choice. They're just like, no, you're going in. It has a few different values. So there's time for brief respite and then dung. He's pooping in the hole. That guy's pooping. Everybody appraise him for pooping. Appraise his poop. That's what the audience does. That's the level of maturity that the Elden Ring community is thriving on. I am terrified to use my weapon art in this level right now. Not that I usually need it that badly anyway. Outside of boss fights. You don't have this fucking message. Yep, haven't thought about that for a while. I have to hand it to anybody who writes messages in most of these games. It always feels like way too much of a pain in the ass to even like navigate the list of options to craft a message. Granted, as a Let's Player, I'm not necessarily killing time. Be wary of left. It's just like the internet. I'm joking. Sneaky. Yep. I don't really think about weapon arts until I'm in a boss fight, basically. Usually doesn't feel like it's worth considering until I'm getting desperate. I feel like I lost a train of thought. That's fine. Still no fort night. I've heard about this. There was a thing that happened where in regions that speak other languages, people were increasingly convinced that there was a special fortress in this game that would only appear at night somewhere in the game. Like some good old school video game mysteries. Like old Pokemon urban legends and shit like that. But it's just because Americans or English-speaking audiences kept putting messages that say Fortnite over and over again as a joke. Because Fortnite is a popular video game. I imagine it just has a different title elsewhere. Or it might be called Fortnite. Like literally Fortnite. Just the word Fortnite. But these messages translate into the local languages, and in one way or another does not perfectly match up with fort and night. Or some kind of other miscommunication. And it led to there being confusion in some areas where people would be increasingly convinced that there was some sort of mystical night fort until people figured out what the hell was happening. It's akin to playing a game that has cross-posting with people from Japan and just repeatedly seeing messages that say grass, not understanding why. Oh, please. Not the jaw or any one thing but that. I promise I won't do it ever again. I swear, a living saint I'll surely be. Please, you must forgive me. Forgive me. Please. Please? Okay, so it sounds like they're making warrior jars here, but they're making them out of prisoners. Because the people around here are explicitly prisoners. And it seems like they get put in the jar as a punishment if they reach a certain level of misbehaving. Although with how many jars there are around here, wow, this feels like a callback to a Dark Souls 2 DLC zone. Hopping our way down, the Iron King, I think it was? I need to play Dark Souls 2 again, I miss it. It's been a while. I'm the guy with annoying opinions who, thinks that, for me, it's my favorite one that they've made. I was doing like a 10-year anniversary thing, which I kind of fell off of, whoops. It's hard to make big, grand plans with your schedule like that. But I wanted to replay every single Souls game so far. But I wanted to have like a gimmick to each one a little bit. And so with Demon Souls, it was easy. They had a Demon Souls Remastered, so I played that copy of the game. This looks like a difficult platforming sequence that people have clearly tried to do, but I don't know how reasonable it is. But there's just a perfectly good door right here. Beware if left. Oh, it's always the left. Uh-oh. No! Kill it! It's unholy. That was a pile of man. Just sloughing out of a hymn-shaped recess. I don't like that. I never quite got through my plans, but one of these days I'll do it all again because I just love playing these games all the time. But Demon Souls had a remastered edition, so that was a fun way of revisiting that. And I figured I'd play one of the alternate modded campaigns people have come up with for Dark Souls 1. But unfortunately, those don't really exist for Dark Souls 2. So that's my dead end, where I'm like, what am I going to do? How do I make my new Dark Souls 2 run special if I do another one? Huh! Okay, don't roll. A little bit scary. That one might be a rolling spot, I don't know. Right, I can just jump. It's probably a smarter idea. A bit more control. Just jump. I don't know how much air control you have. I haven't had to think about it that much before. You might be able to survive dropping to that one. I'm not sure. I'm also not entirely sure if there are Dark Souls 3 modded campaigns or not. But if they're good, I'd like to cover all of them one day. I can just hang out in these games. There's an item and there's a chest up there. No. I need to go to that one back there. All right, well, we're gonna have to come back again. Yeah, I'd love it if modded campaigns were available for all of them, but a lot of them are console exclusive games. Like Bloodborne and Demon Souls. That is a warrior jar. Yup. He exploded! I like to think that warrior jars used to suffer normal deaths. Just regular old enemy deaths. And then they got to Alexander and they're like, what if we made his death just comically over the top? Just, he has this poor, sad end to his sad, noble life, and you did it. You killed him. Then he just fucking explodes in a pile of gore and shards. Just like a level of horrible destruction that has applied to basically no enemies in the history of every game they've ever made. Like, at least the Souls-like games. Like, everyone just falls over dead and then fades away. There might be an animation of suffering or something sometimes, but usually not even that. But then very specifically, Alexander just has the most gory, upsetting death where he just explodes into a shower of disintegrating body and... Uh-oh. Second guy. Got him. Suddenly using my power a little bit more. Like, it's so startling how violent Alexander's death is. That he completely just disintegrates into shards of... Just a shower of blood and gore, and all of his shards, like, break and fly everywhere and become physics objects and so on. Like, what is happening? Why did they do this to me? Why am I not using stamina? Fuck. No. No. No! God damn it! Was that an NPC? My hint was that I didn't use stamina. So I was like, am I not in I was like, why did I not use stamina? And after, once he was dead, I was like, did I not start combat somehow? That's interesting. And then like, wait, no, they did it again. They pulled that shit from Dark Souls 3 where after a bunch of fighting a specific enemy, they just throw some at you that aren't enemies. Can't wait for all the comments to be like, you killed an entire Covenant leader, how could you do that? Because Dark Souls 3, out of nowhere, first of all, a giant that was shooting you for an entire zone is actually friendly and he talks to you, ha 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 ha. And then the guy in the cage, in a whole zone full of people in cages that attack you, one of them is randomly an NPC and talks to you and gives you access to a whole Covenant. You're like, what? Why would I even check to see if he was an NPC? They're all attacking me. I don't understand. Yep, I'm back to using stamina. Man, alright, well, I at least probably missed dialogue. That's a bummer. Lunging out ahead was just that guy. Oh, God! Ah! No! Oh, they're upsetting. Huh. Alright, so let's be very... On one hand, let's be very careful because I don't want to lose all those souls. But on the other hand, alternate platforming sequence to get the item in the chest. Ow! You did not lunge outward like last time. Like forward like last time. Nope, it's gone now. On one hand, the number of souls I have on the floor out there feels like a lot, but on the other hand, it's like, it's not even a level. Our perception of soul counts is so out of whack at this point because of where we are in the game and how massively inflated they got, because they seem to rise exponentially, and this game is really long. Somebody put their message up there to be fun. Yeah, I don't know if that's exactly what happened, but it definitely feels like that's what happened. And, I don't know, it's frustrating when there's just a random surprise friendly that looks exactly like everyone else. It'll be especially telling if he doesn't respawn. Double kill. Running riot. Blah, blah, blah. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. I don't think we're at the splitting point yet. No! Oh, I hated that. At first, I was jumping towards the chain by accident, so I was just gonna slide off the platform via the chain. And then even then, when I landed on the edge, I started sliding backwards and still almost fell off again. Oh god, the chains are horrible. Okay. Be able to get the items now. God, fuck you! Oh, fuck all of you! Fuck the entirety of you! No! God damn it. I think I just got saved by the pole. No! Alrighty, so I fell down here. That sucks. So what happened is I once again accidentally queued an action. It launched a whole extra weapon art after I had stopped pressing it. So my character just kept going, and I'm like, no, where are you going? No, please stop, I'm begging you. In moments like that, the animations are so long and so telegraphed that you get to just like, get to plead with the game for several seconds to not do the thing it's about to do, and like, and you can't do anything about it. Okay, now I have lock on. Okay, and now I am using stamina. Okay, so that was just I hallucinated an NPC. Was it just not hostile yet, so it didn't count as being in combat? Because yeah, when I swing my weapon out of combat, I don't use stamina. Weird. Anyway, those guys really caught me back there. That was mean. They have like surprisingly rapid little attacks that can catch you a bit, it seems. No, 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 no. It's not the time for vor. Where did I even go? Where's the pocket that a person goes into in that thing? That's upsetting. I guess they just look like, if you look at them that way, it's like they're just a giant stomach with a face sticking out on top. It's like almost like a fake thing. But, so they look interesting because they look like oddly, like, regal or something. Like, besides the part where they're a meat pile. They don't really look like random prisoners. They look like an oddly specific person. Like a person with long, flowing blonde or white hair. Rump. They just have a butt pose. Yep. Okay. Ah! Stop it! And the person's wearing like a headband or a blindfold. I can't quite tell. Because they are trying to murder me the whole time. This fucking fake out, man. Okay, I'm here now. I was about to go to what's probably a giant treasure chest, but now I'm down here in the hellhole. And now that they've taught me to be afraid of pots, the entire room is full of jars. It's just all jars. I climb out. I like that. God, they really did that trick again. That one was much less telegraphed. It was just a mean little surprise. But they had an earlier instance of it as like a setup for the payoff. So it's like, they get to be extra dickish about it. Why does this one have so much health? Oh, it's really big. You look at this, is like... Looks like a lady, but I can't tell. Oh! Why did you do so much damage? Ha! Stop it. Just creepily, slowly walking up on me like I'm not gonna notice. I might have not noticed. That would have been really bad. I would have screamed. It was not that hard. Listen, I'll get caught up on some item descriptions when I'm no longer in the death hole where everything's trying to mulch me into a meat. The boys came back for a new season. That jar is oh, it's on a chain. Like, why is it? I was like, why is it floating? Yeah, they're on chains. Okay. And I'm getting flashbacks to the boys a lot right now because everything is just turning into a pile of meat and gore everywhere I go. Like, wow. This feels like a trap. With the way it's dead end. God, why did that jar have so much health? Is this where the... Is this like... where the real warrior jars end up? Side path, maybe? Is that the main path, maybe? It does have a big gate. Did I break something with my foot, or did something just happen somewhere? Do I hear breathing? Guy's not real. Okay, so that's probably the way forward. Ladder destruction. Try ladder, but no plump sword ahead. Ladder destruction. You fucks. Like, try this ladder if you're not fat. Oh, you're fat. Funny joke. One didn't break. Oh, there it goes. But if you jumped it correctly, you probably could have made that. This looks like a trap. This looks like I don't come back out of it if I go in it. Which is a bit upsetting. Oh, hi. Meow. Eh. I don't want to go in the hole right now. I'm out of stuff. Spellcasting is expensive. Hi. I did it with my bare hands. My giant muscles. Oh, can't make that jump. Another pot. I just trapped myself on the side. Nope, I can still check the side out. Hi. No. Who? What's that? What's that? Ah! How'd you even get in here? Who let you in? Yeah, the figure is looking... It looks like a specific woman or an androgynous figure. There's a lot of... I didn't like that. Thanks for missing me. Appreciate that. Yeah, there's a lot of ambiguous gender or bigender or two people of different genders that are the same person. People in Elden Ring. Like Radagon is Marika and Miquella might be Saint Trina. Crackpot. I don't know who that reference is for. Who am I referencing that for? Who would get that? Who besides me will remember a very specific Dave Grohl YouTube video on the Foo Fighters official channel where he just goes, "Fresh pots!" over and over again. Just a jokey video about the coffee that fuels them as they just endlessly make music and tour and make music and tour and seem to have are just inexhaustible somehow. No one. No one. No, that's for nobody. It's just for me. Hi! Hi. I was in the middle of thinking that just one of these pots looks a little different. Ow! What? Stop! It's so startling when you think you know that the enemy is going to be stunned and then they just do something instead of getting stunned. I guess in that case it's because they queued up their "I'm about to explode with a shotgun blast of gore" attack, and that attack stops them from being stunned. They gave that particular attack some frame data. This whole thing definitely has directionality to it. We're heading towards something. There's a lot of one-way spots. I'm potted up. I'm full of pot. So who's going to attack me for being here? Wait, oh, I'm back at the beginning. I'm back at the beginning, innit? Yarp. Which means I'm... Yep, go back here for the gate. Alright, we did it. The reward was I got a couple more cracked pots. So I've got a hefty fire pot, hefty furnace pot, a whirlwind of flame. But you need embers of mesmer. Hefty fly pot, that's gross. just throw blood flies at people. Hefty freezing pot. Yeah, got ammo for that one. And that's gonna be it for now. Okay. Innard meat. Gross. Scraps of flesh for filling great jars. Rancorous spirits cling to the pinkish red, twitching meat. This is what becomes of the condemned, who get sliced up and stuffed into jars to become saints instead. Oh god, there's exclamation points all the way down there. I've fallen behind. Greater protonate, hefty freezing pot. Just a rune. Silver horn tender. Old currency used by horn scent, made by coating spiral horns with silver. Temporarily boosts item discovery. Can also be sold for a high price. These trinkets were once symbolic of society's upper echelons. More shadow runes. I think the descriptions are all the same. The grave bird armor. I meant to look at that, but I got distracted by a giant dragon, which, I mean, is distracting. Stone armor with a tinge of green. One of a set of armor pieces cast in the image of the grave bird. Grave birds are ancient golems created to guard the spirit graves, built where all manners of death ultimately drift. There's the fly pot. I'm beautiful. Oh, I forgot. I forgot that I got 3 fingied. Man, I've had a hard life. Because I did the whole 3 fingers quest line, and then I also did the extra quest line that you can do to opt out of it. So I didn't get the 3 fingers ending. I got Ronnie's ending. Oh, look how happy and friendly they all look. I'm here to ruin their lives by being here. Listen, I wouldn't fight you guys if I could avoid it. You guys mostly attack me. Like this. See? Stop that. Don't do this. Just don't do this. Have you considered not? Oh, he almost went off the cliff, then he didn't. Kind of overexerted my stamina. Could this be a secret? No, it's not. The hole definitely isn't. Not from that side. Aw, guys, you don't have to attack me. I promise it's not worth it. You won't believe how not worth it can be. That one's definitely going to attack me. I should heal in advance. It won't let me lock onto him. It was a fake out. I couldn't lock onto them because the jar itself wasn't the enemy. They were hiding inside of the jar. Oh, this is annoying. Come here. Oh, thank you. Ah, stop it. Fall in the hole. Who's got an infinite falling glitch? Yes, you do. How'd they die? Oh, infinite falling failsafe death? Because their health wasn't down yet. But yeah, they were stuck perfectly in the wedge, so they were falling forever in a way that only video game characters can when you get awkwardly wedged in like a V-shaped thing. Uh-oh. No. I'm leaving. Come and get me, nerd. I don't have any cerulean tears. It homes? I don't like that. I do not like that, Sam I am. I would really appreciate if you let me combo you. Oh god. There we go. There we go. That was a rapid progression through a... Me and who? I chunked through that hefty health bar real quick, like. Both things considered. But I did drink my flask to get bonus holy damage. Okay, so I had two different... Oop. That's a boss gate. But is there a stake of America? 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 I mean, this is definitely a thing, but I don't know if I'm gonna regret it. Oh, it's an elevator. Ah, I don't believe it. I don't... Are you gonna come back down? Huh. They bait you into coming down here, wondering what this ledge is, and the ledge goes nowhere. But they give you an elevator that clearly goes way higher than the platform it's next to, so it goes somewhere new? Okay. Weird button? Something? This person tried to like roll on it. Oh. Oh, it summons the elevator. It's a new mechanism. Got it. I love their use of fake outs or surprise things. Like, you think something's going to intuitively do one thing, and then they surprise you. Like, oh, it's just a jar to land on, and then I go check out this platform, and then the jar lifts you into the air and takes you away. You're like, wait, what's happening? Big fake out, surprise, nasty stuff can be mean in combat, but in exploration, it's just like a really cool reveal a lot of the time. I really hope I make this jump. Okay. It felt too short range for me to trust doing a running jump, but too long range. I didn't entirely trust doing a normal one. Ah? Okay. Weird collision right here, but you can go around it. Beware of monstrosity. Oh, hello. Hello. Yeah. I'm getting wise to your ways where you undulate violently and then parts of your body fly at me in a horrible mess that can't feel great for you. Or she said, oh, I'm here. That's fun. It's like a bit of the, a little bit of the Myst 1 situation. Or like in Myst, when you get to the mechanical age, you get sort of trapped in this weird level, and you're like, how do I get out of this place? Oh god. So you solve your way through the level, and get out of the level, and you're like, okay, I beat it, I made it out. And then you get back to the guys that are like, give me the red page, give me the blue page, and you're like, wait, hang on a minute. This guy's super stuck. Like, you have this moment of realizing, like, hang on a minute, I didn't get either of those pages. Well, what did I accomplish in that level? I just went in and left. Wait. And then at that point you realize you gotta go back and actually do the level. And akin to that, you will have seen, you would have been walking across that, and this was the distant thing that was like on the horizon the whole time we were playing this level. Then we finally get here and they dropped us. And then if you go down there, you'd beat the boss probably. And then probably leave. And then eventually you'd remember, like, hang on a minute, wasn't there like a thing I was trying to get in that level? And then you finally come back here and check out you go back in looking for secrets, and you find out that that's how you're supposed to get there. There's a platforming way to get back. Is it just to go back down to where we were? It looks like it is. Yeah, so let's not do that yet. It's just cute design. It's cute design to taunt you with a thing, and then make it possible to just leave without getting it. Like, in that it's like out of your way to even try to get it. So then you have to go back and figure out how to even, we're supposed to get it. There's a great jar. Yeah, a jar that fits cleanly over the head when upturned, made with pride by Iron Fist Alexander. Is a uniquely jar-like gesture of friendship and boosts the power of throwing pot items. That's the old one. The infamous "let me solo her" hat is what it became, essentially. A great jar which fits comfortably over the head when upturned. Attire of the shamans who perform their worship at jails. Increases the power of thrown pots of all sizes. They offer their prayers to the innards of the great jar such that they might be reborn one day into sainthood. This is the cycle of death and rebirth taken into the hands of mortal men. I was wondering if it was going to reference that guy or not. The Let Me Solo. It's like a local folk hero in video game terms. It's very funny. I think that's all that's up here. So this was all leading up to a jar helm. I like this one, although I do wish that the fake Blythe helm was less mangled. Like he already looks rough as a person, but the helm looks so much worse. Like it's so much more roughed up than even he is. You're like, can't it just look like him? Whoop. Oh. I'd also settle for a Malekith helm. That's fine. It does remind me of, like, right, the original Elden Ring playthrough was the one where I came out in the middle of the playthrough. So I got through the whole early chunk, and I beat the Radon Festival. And then I took a month-long break from the game, where the episodes were still coming out, but I wasn't recording them. Because I really just needed to hunker down and finish the Beastars video essay I made. Which now has 1.2 million views, which is insane. It's the biggest thing I've ever done, and is probably the peak of my career forever. Which is wild. It's the loudest thing that's ever happened in my life. But when I finished that, I also perfectly had it set up where, like, it was going to come out on my birthday, and also the Radon Festival. Like, I had kind of had that planned. It was like my goal that whole month. And the Radon Festival video was going to air right before my birthday. So the next video in this playthrough after my birthday was going to be after that video had come out. So when I did finally get back to recording this, I then made the choice of, like, okay, let's look up how to get the Blythe head and get that on to match up with the news. And so that's the shift. Before and after that helm was before and after I came out in real life. And that was fun. It wasn't fun. It was incredibly stressful. But it has become fun retroactively. Okay, is there a stake around here? Seek master. Oh, there's a Stick of America. There we go. Offer bliss. Okay, so now I don't have to worry about too bad of respawns. Just have to keep getting my souls every boss attempt, but that's the usual. Let me take a drink. I deserve a quenching glob of Cali squeeze. Hi. Demi-Human Swordmaster Onze. Look how small he is. Oh, yep, I thought something was going to be wrong there. Oh, he's quick. Oh, he turns invisible a bit. That looks like a grapple I should be worried about. Bleed. Ow. He's gonna stab me. Oh no! Ah! Oh god, my health. I'm so sorry for letting you attack. Why does this demi-human have waterfowl dance, basically? I'm upset. Okay. So this little punk ass is very threatening and scary, but also it shouldn't be the hardest fight because they don't have that much health. For example, this time I will have more than 5 heals, and I will also have a mana bar. Oh god! No, just let me get my souls back. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, so that's gonna be a problem. I got my souls back, briefly. Holy fuck. That is uncommon for any Souls boss, really, to track you that harshly. Because he teleports to you. Like Nightcrawler in the fucking Marvel X-Men Legends games or whatever. Teleports right to you, so you can't really... Okay, they ended up over here at least. He was alive. You can summon Swordsman Josh. That guy was fucking cool. I want to summon Demi-Human Yosh. It's also extremely funny that I, like... Oh, the liar ahead message was probably not about the NPC, but was probably about the, It's probably about a message that was no longer visible. Alright. I forgot about these. What are these? A giant butthole! It's not that big. Alright. I guess that's what this whole thing was leading to. Was not expecting a demi-human. That's the payoff of the whole zone, not like a jar boss. Should I be thinking that the demi-humans were creating the jars? It's the only demi-human in the whole place, though. Either way, he was a fucking badass. I should upgrade... I should upgrade Yosh to use against bosses when I feel the need to later. Just because he's cool. And I can complete my furry squad. Because you can't summon Malekith or Blythe. As a phantom. I don't think you can. Man, that was a whole thing, wasn't it? Alright. That was really cool to explore. I like that level. It also does seem to be like a not super consequential kind of dead end that just led to that summon / boss fight. So like, compared to the caves we're used to exploring, it was really cool too. Okay. Demi-Human Swordsman Yosh. Summons Spirit of Demi-Human Swordsman Yosh. Ashen remains in which spirits yet dwell. Blah blah blah. Onze, a master swordsman who devoted himself to the star-lined sword, realized that only ruin awaited at the end of the procession of stars, and imprisoned himself in order to forestall it. However, Yosh, an apprentice who absorbed his technique, stubbornly refused to heed his master's words and spent and spent entire his life at his side in defiance of his self-imposed seclusion. So I got Yosh, who's different from Onze, right? Because the boss was named Onze, which might mean ounce, which is a small measurement. So it's a funny name to give a little demi-human character. So I got his apprentice, not him, because I guess he's dead now. So he was in self-imposed exile, and I just got his little bud, his little buddy. That was a cool place to explore. So that was like there-ish or something. I looped around this area. There's obviously more across the bridge, but maybe do that after this keep over here. Sure feels like I should stop by here before I move on too far. No. All towers up there. If I only had a bridge. Dum ba dun da dun da da dun da dun da dun da da dun. Invisible. Invisible sort ahead. Is it like a... like Bach? I'm trying to be gentle. Are these people fucking with me? Or it's just that I need to have the right item and then bring it here to use it? And it'll like summon somebody functionally? I don't know what to think about that. Someone's up. Huh. I don't think I've picked up any particular secret items that are like key items that feel like they'd be indicating what to do yet. I don't currently remember anything weird. I've got 4 somber ancient smithing stones. It's good to increase your budget for maxed out items. Granted, having a +9 isn't that far off. If one of the struggles of having a variety of weapons to use in your playthrough in Souls games is often just the fact that, like, on top of being limited by which things actually scale with your build, unless you want to have a bunch of gear for alternate builds, then have to keep paying to go back and forth or something. You also have to worry about, like, just can you afford to upgrade these items? Like, there's it can be a struggle. Like, they don't necessarily make older items massively common. Let's go ahead and just warp over. So you'll often find that you have to, like, go back and farm certain resources. Oh, is that your somber friend? Wait, was he here last time? Was this person here last time? I just didn't see them because it was dark out. That's very funny.
Fie, another. Treading the heels of Miquella. Then, as that woman would surely say, we are in our purposes well aligned. But understand, your kind are not forgiven. The Erdtree is my people's enemy. By Marika long betrayed, set aflame. I believe Miquella's apologies when he says our delivery will come, but never will I see your kind as worthy.
Okay. I'm the one with the giant scythe.
And yet my oath I cannot overlook. If Miquella it is whom you would seek, then comrade, allow me to give you this. These are the sites of the crosses I found. I urge you, follow after Miquella. As long as you abide by his footfalls, you will be no enemy to me.
A single map drawn by Horn Scent marked locations of golden crosses. And look at it. So there's 3. One of them, I think the one in the middle is the one we're at. It's hard to look at this picture, especially since they won't just like let me look at it close up. But it seems like the diagonal slash there is the bridge that I know of that's up north. And so there's one in the forest past the bridge, and there's one to our west. So that's just on the other side of this pass. So they're just in places I would go normally, basically. But it's good to know they're there, so you know to check and find them if you miss them, I guess.
I urge you, follow after Miquella. As long as you abide by his footfalls, you will be no enemy to me.
I'm always a little surprised that Miquella is a dude, just by name. Just not a name that I thought would be a dude's name. That's it. That's the whole thought.
If you've yet to do so, assuming you intend...
Alright. Yeah. That's a bit embarrassing, but he was probably like, not only he's basically standing behind her from the perspective that I would look at them. And then this thing catches all the attention because it's glowing in the middle of the night. And then I probably just wandered off. He kind of like he just as easily could be dismissed as one of the gravestones in the darkness. That's funny. It's embarrassing, but at the same time, it's good to be really dumb sometimes. Like honestly, fairly often I would say that. Okay, before I go do that, let's investigate this guy. Obviously, I need to get back on this. I would say that there's a genuine gap in the performance of playthroughs based on whether or not I may do something really embarrassing in part 1. Like, that leads to a bunch of people commenting to point out the obvious thing I did wrong, and then that leads to a massive spike of engagement, which leads to the video doing better in the algorithm, and that all rewards me. So honestly, thanks to how the YouTube algorithm is built, fucking up and being embarrassing is rewarded more than most things. Womp womp. It's all part of the fun psychology of what gets people to comment. And people who are just having a chill time tend to not say anything. That looks really big. Oh my god, it's looking bigger the closer I get. I am become concerned. Also, hang on, is this a little portal? Maybe not. I saw the shape and thought it was one of those portals I've seen before. What are those guys? Okay, it's just a sarcophagus that's pointing towards me. The backhand blade. What are these guys? They're probably not friendly because nobody ever is. Ever. These look like giant drills. Why do these pillars look like giant drills? Are they installed like giant drills? Do they drill onto the earth? Hi! I don't think they're friendly. I don't think they're friendly. I don't think they're friendly. Stop it. Is that a dungeon? No. What does that symbol mean? Oh, it's a painting. Like from this perspective of like a Colosseum-y looking floaty building. It almost might even be the destroyed burned down town. The Sacred Tower painting. And path ahead? You all voted for it. You lied to me. Why? No hidden path ahead. By the way, praise the message. Didn't expect grace. I still don't fully trust paintings. I expect the DLC to trick me sometimes, so after a whole game of paintings just being paintings you pick up, I half expected that it would try to grab me, like the one in Dark Souls 1. Let's see. It might be that building. Yeah, I was very bad at those paintings, trying to identify what specific angle I was supposed to visit them at. Of course, this guy's really big. How dangerous is he? Let's find out. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's a big fire. No. Alright, that was more of a torrent problem than a me problem. Oh, it's a big torrent problem, though. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Okay. Let's not give him any distance, or he will spend it against me. So he's got 1 million health. Ah. Is he gonna do the Tower Knight thing where you can break his legs? I don't see much evidence as... Uh-oh. Okay, so you can jump over the shockwave. If you're good at video games. I can't tell if there's actually a weak spot to attack. Unpleasant. Oh, don't be in front of him. He'll shoot projectiles at me. They're way worse. No, I'm trying to get behind him. Jesus Christ, he's rotating really fast for a slow character. Ah, getting stuck in your swing. Torrent won't jump, even though it's a separate creature. I'm hoping that his legs will, like, break. I think that one's both an explosion and a shockwave. And the explosion's the scary thing that almost killed me. Oh, he stepped directly on me that time. Alright, this is a struggle, and I am quickly running out of health. Just of every kind. Ow! God damn it, I'm just trying to heal for a second. Ugh. You know, I'm gonna cut my losses. I've lost too much health, and I'm not going to make it, I'm pretty sure. So let's just save myself the runes run and go ahead and take a break. I'll come back when I've leveled more, I guess, via the, like, damage scaling upgrades, and give that a go. There's some kind of stun that happens that you get. That kind of stun usually means that there's a weak spot, but he doesn't stay in the pose that long. I don't know if I can identify cleanly where the weak spot is, if there is like a critical hit to do. So I don't know. It seemed like they might be causing a critical hit. I'm not ready to level this stuff up anymore. The Sacred Tower painting. Work of a wandering artist. Reminisce of a painting titled The Sacred Tower. Reminiscence. This painter is said to have captured the landscapes seen during the last moments of those welcomed into death's embrace. The soul of the painter and vestiges of the dead's last moments can be discovered by visiting the location depicted even now. The backhand blade. Curved blade wielded with a backhand grip. A type of weapon wielded by Horn Scent for generations. The style of combat associated with this weapon is marked by spinning slashes and gouging thrust attacks. Skill. Blind spot. Leap into close quarters to take advantage of the enemy's blind spot and gore them from the side. Input determines which side you strike from. The attack slips below the opponent's guard. Reverse blade! Growing up, I thought it was so fucking cool whenever somebody held a sword backwards. I always would play as Adi Gallia in Jedi Power Battles. A game that no one remembers. Ooh. This is what slips past people's guard, apparently. Oops. Oh, it's a dual blade weapon. That means it's fucking cool. It's like a giant daggers, basically. At that point. I don't know how to. I don't understand how to do the thing it said, though, where it said that which button you pressed would affect which side it attacked on or something. Because I can only trigger it with left trigger. Right trigger does a different attack. And I don't think pressing a different button at this part causes a different attack to happen. Just kind of confusing. Anyway, ooh. Descaling with strength and dexterity. It's okay. I guess most of the stuff I get has bad scaling. Scaling's kind of iffy from what I've heard. Like the way that it actually calculates damage is weird from weapon to weapon. And I guess that like it's rough because like outside of looking things up online via entire charts and tables, your only hint about how strong things are is the damage it shows you and the scaling it shows you. And then you just kind of have to like hope it works out. But I guess the scaling is like a really unreliable way of actually telling how much stronger it's going to get based on your stats because of how it's calculated or something. Womp womp. Fortnite. Yep. Yep. These guys really like to throw rocks at me. What hath caused these creatures become so rude? They are all over. Ooh. Eh! Stop it. Ooh. So this is probably the neat, weird path that leads to the high ground, not upper ground. Smithing stone 3s. This probably leads to the high ground that was overlooking the starting zone that we anticipated via the map. Evil bats. Ow. And I guess we'll see whether or not this is where the cross is, or if it's just on its way to the town. Is that a giant crystal dragon out there? Looks like it's just trees. I don't feel like fighting bats. Ah! Sit. We're fine, everything's fine. There's no bats. Bats aren't real. Yep, I'm up here. There's a spring waiting over here and a fortress over here. However that might be. Why don't we go find out together? Hi. That looks upsetting. So there's consistently a nightmare man and a dog. And the dog themselves are all... They all look like they're covered in scarlet rot or something. Which is a sad state for a dog. Is the pond? It's a turtle pond. There's turtles here. Didn't expect dog. This be dog? I forgot about the Elden Ring thing of calling everything a dog, because that's just like the word that was available. Revered Spirit Ash. That's a good find. And to stock up on those, because inevitably I'll get to the end of this goddamn DLC, and like the final bosses will be so nightmarish and Malekith-ish that I'm like, I will go through the stages of grief and eventually cave and be like, okay, man, help, please. I don't love summoning. It's fun playing co-op with your friends and just kind of screwing around and kind of transforming the game into like a more chill, let's try to beat it thing. There's a camaraderie in it. But AI summons can be a lot less fun. One, because they make up for their bad AI by just being really tanky and overpowered by comparison, compared to your poor little friends that can die just as quickly as you. The reason why the Mimic tier is so powerful is because the Mimic tier is just like, hey, what if I was the protagonist but with 1 billion health? Like, the Mimic tier is you with just way too much health, because if they had your health, they would just die instantly. Because pretty much any AI you could summon couldn't handle itself against the boss if it has to play as you. It would just immediately go into the melee range, just get flattened, get two-shot, and be out. Is that a huge golden lamb? Is it going to Sonic the Hedgehog spin dash me? Like the other ones do? Oh, they have lightning, so the answer is yes. Oh, there's another one. They're like lightnings. This is lightning area. Jeez. The big one's probably especially dangerous. There's apparently a few of them. Are they shiny gold? I think they are, yeah. Not just that, they're not just that color, they're specifically like reflective. I don't think the... I'm good. I don't think the big one cares about me. Little ones do. Little ones are bullying my horse. I'd rather you didn't. Yeah, I don't love summoning AI. as a solution, in part because the gameplay just feels so chaotic, trying to figure out whether or not they're going to attack you or the AI. And it kind of adds like a new form of RNG to the encounter, because now you're like trying to get a good attempt in with your summon, because your summon is also like so unreliable and inconsistent that you don't know if they will do a remotely good job or if they will completely just trounce your hopes and dreams by just doing the equivalent of walking off a cliff, but in the fight. Another one. Artist Shack. Incursion painting. It's by an arch that's under a big flaming bridge. That looks like it's the bridge I saw earlier. I think I've been there before. I think I went over here. Was it that side? Oh, I might have been here. I think I was here right after I came out of the cave, and I was looking up at this bridge, the one I'm about to cross, I guess. It does make me wonder if I already got the item. These don't have lore. Something's down there. Yeah, I find that summoning is very fun, and I like doing a co-op playthrough of every single Souls game if I get the chance, which I've now mostly accomplished. Especially since Bird and I went and did a Bloodborne playthrough a year ago or so, which led to the wild outcome of Illusory Wall, the Dark Souls YouTuber, showing up in our comments mid-stream. And then we adopted him into our little streamer group, and now we just played. We play Elden. We're playing Elden Ring right now with the Illusory Wall, and we play tabletops. Like, we played tabletop RPG campaigns with him on role-playing games, and he joins us for Lethal Company. Like, he's played Lethal Company with us for like over 100 hours now. So we're living in a wild timeline from that perspective. Okay, if you like the YouTuber Illusory Wall, you should look up the channel Knoll Playing Games, where we play tabletop RPG campaigns with Illusory Wall. That is Knoll Playing, spelled G-N-O-L-L, like the hyena men would be in fantasy settings. Or look up Cape Escape or Dead Laws, which are the shows on that channel. He's been a lot of fun on that, and he's going to be back for season 3. We've done 2 shows now, and we're going to be back for a 3rd one later. So I guess going by that, it's been well over a year now since we started hanging out with the Illusory Wall. That's funny. And if you haven't seen his channel, from the opposite perspective, he just put out a new video that's like an hour and a half long that's just analyzing all of the... Hello, what's that? Analyzing all of the invisible walls throughout Dark Souls 1, which are interestingly placed. Some of them are clever fixes to make the game not make be a weird mess, but other parts are what causes the game to feel like a weird mess sometimes. I think we all have memories of playing like Demon Souls and being in that one mine and sliding off the cliff in a weird way when they were trying to line up a jump. And Dark Souls 1's also full of stuff like that. And getting to actually see what the stuff's shaped like is really interesting. It's like, in some ways, you're like, I finally have answers. Ah! What's that? What is that? What the fuck? No! 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 I'm gonna ask you to stop now. I accidentally pressed it again. No! Oh, they look weird. I thought it was a goat. Like, I thought it was like a goat or a deer at first, because it's like, it's leaning forward so hard. I thought those were its horns. I was really confused what I was looking at. I'm here. And I died all the way down there. Okay. We'll check out that thing later, but for now I need to get back to my souls. I'm like circumnavigating every big building that I should inspect, and instead going every other direction first. Right, that's what they sound like. I thought there was a dragon coming after me. That enemy was a bit upsetting. I should definitely run past them, grabbing my souls, then jump down and try to fight them on normal land, because that terrain was going to be its own problem. Friend? Got quite the aggro range, don't you? Forager Brood Cookbook. Black Firefly. Didn't expect friendship. Don't fingers his butthole. First of all, good luck finding it. So are all of the big ones just docile? Yeah. The fur's all shiny. Beep. I was trying to figure out if it was scaly for a second there. Big rat. Small rats. Yeah. I didn't get my souls. Thank you. Alright, scary fight. Lock on, please. God damn. Too many attacks. Stop attacking. It's not cool. Ugh! Nobody tell him how cool he is. I'm trying to make him think he's not cool. God fucking damn it! I keep thinking the combo's over and it's not. Okay, they're wearing a... They're wearing an omen mask. Or they're an omen wearing a mask. I don't know. One or the other. I don't see horns anywhere else on their body besides where the omen mask is, so I think they might be wearing an omen mask. I'm trying to remember lore here, because I think that's come up before, where like... I think Dung Eater was a character that like wasn't an omen, but wore an omen mask. To impersonate one in some way, or emulate being one. Okay, thankfully this is actually a pretty small zone. Spent a long time zigzagging everywhere to explore, but when I need to get back to my body, it's not that bad of a run. Ow, you're this fucking persistent! The number of characters that are good at catching me like this when I'm just moving through an area is astounding. God! Even that's full run, okay. Jesus. Oh my god! Hi, Church of Benediction, how you doing? Okay, I'm upset by how good they are at pursuing me. keep fucking up at switching to... I'm trying to... Nope, gotta face them. Fuck you. I'm the cheese master. I say while failing to cheese. God damn it. Your combo's too long. Stop it. Ah, I meant to switch to my weapon and swing at them, and instead nothing happened. That's annoying. Yeah. Oh, my horsey. No, my horsey. I need them to live. Oh my god. What the fuck is happening? Holy shit. These are some next level evil enemies in this game. The fact that it's that mobile, that it can chase you that well while you're on horseback, is its own kind of terrifying. Like, goddamn, man. It's a really inopportune arena to fight on horseback, though, because there's so much tree coverage. You're between multiple cliffs. There's lots of trees, so you can't maneuver very well, and you can't get that much distance. So you can't use the horse to your advantage that well. So it's also an enemy. If we anthropomorphize the AI, they've chosen their hunting grounds very well. They distinctly have an advantage in this location. That is a real headache for me. Okay, I jumped at the right time to not get caught. It's upsetting how good they are at catching me on when I'm on horseback. How's nothing connecting? That's impressive. No, don't fall off. I think that was a woman. I had about 3 seconds to actually get a look at their body. Before they faded out of existence again. They were worth like 3,000 souls, which is frankly garbage for how much trouble they give. I'm terrified I'm gonna walk around here and just see more of them everywhere. Like, jeez. Blessed Blue Dew Talisman. That's probably like a... It probably gives you defense, because that's how their color scheme usually works, as blue is defense and red is attack. This America is also decapitated, and it looks like you're not always gonna get that upgrade item at these. You might get other stuff. Okay, I would think that I might... Oop, there's a cave down here. Oath Seeker set. What? I think that's the person who let us... I think the person who met us when we were joining this area was wearing that set. Interesting looking island out there with the big hole in the middle. Definitely a path that leads to it. Oh, that's a giant dragon. That might have been what the other thing was pointing at, saying dragon. That's definitely a giant dragon's wing and everything. I don't think I was able to see that before. Or I guess it just didn't parse it. There's the starting grace. Behold, just getting started. Yeah, I don't think there's a reason to jump down there. I think that's just, yeah, I think that's just the starting room. I think that if you happened to look in this direction, you would have seen that gear. And you would have been like, how do I get up there? But I didn't happen to look there because it was frankly really high up, so why would I? But they love to do that. They love to have a ledge that overlooks the starting point that has an item on it. And the starting level almost always has an item you can't get until way later in the game. This being probably the earliest you could get one compared to the other examples. I guess you can get to the one at the beginning of Elden Ring pretty quickly too. It just requires you to go do a huge loop around the island and find the cave that happens to lead to the backside as a fun surprise. But like you can't do the one in Dark Souls until you can find how to get back to the asylum. I think you need to find like a specific key and then the ability to get back to the asylum. This is a whole ass bear that's also covered. Ooh, he's already bleeding. It's not a very tough bear. That bleed triggered very quickly. Yeah, classic trick. Might as well just always fit it in there somewhere. It's easy enough. And I think this might be the artist's shack. Yep, there's the easel. So we're pretty done here. Nope, nope, not the scorched ruins, but stay up here. Yeah. Let's check out that big building. Here we go. It's interesting that we got this set, though. It makes you wonder if something happened to that person. Yeah, I believe that's the set of the person that we came in here with. So it makes you wonder if they were supposedly going to follow us in here, but then maybe they're dead, or maybe the person we met killed the real person and are an impersonator. I don't know. Or they just want to give you the set because so you could wear it. So they just killed some random person that happens to also have it. An Oathseeker Knight Helm. Black with gold ornamentation. These knights set off on quests of discovery, hoping to find by themselves an oath of their own choosing to serve in perfect, lifelong devotion. A weapon comprised of a linear, double-sided blade attached to a substantial guard, wielded by the Oathseeker Knights. This versatile armament can be swung about like a fist or used in the manner of a straight sword. It has impaling thrust. This scales with dex and strength. I use a similar weapon, but it's made of the holy word stuff, so it's kind of nicer. Forager Brood. Record of crafting techniques left by non-human Forager Brood, shared out of kindness towards more and his kin. I learned fireproof pickled liver. Hefty lightning pot. Alright, Blessed Blue Dew Talisman. Talisman depicting the blessed boon that is a droplet of the blue luminescent sap of the Erdtree. Gradually restores FP. Ah, it's that. Okay. I was thinking blue teardrop. It does even have a teardrop on it. It was once thought that the blessed sap of the Erdtree would drip from its boughs forever. But that age of plenty swiftly came to a close, and with time, the Erdtree became more of an object of faith. I remember Toaster in our co-op playthrough, he was talking about there was somebody who kind of stuck their reputation on the idea that this was the blessed Erdtree and it was going to save us all, and its sap would flow forever and keep helping us, and then, whoops, stopped. Prospect Town. Are people prospecting? Sure, a lot of jars. Like, surprisingly not broken jars. Oops. Amid all of the broken rubble. Like, the jars have outlasted the surrounding buildings, seemingly. Which implies that they might have been added afterwards. Because this entire place was obliterated, but it's still full of whole jars. Don't think I see anything down there. Boop. No thankies. Yeah, our co-op playthrough should be interesting. There's a mod for this game that's called Seamless Co-op, and it allows you to basically just play the whole game with your friends without dealing with all the hassle that From Software usually introduces. So we're playing 5-player co-op. It's in progress right now, so you can watch it. You can watch it and follow along right now. And the scaling of the game is so unhinged when you have that many players that it feels like we're fighting enemies that are in New Game +5 or something. So like they have an impossible amount of health that we have to figure out how to beat our way through. So that's a wild experience. We feel like a bunch of ants, so it kind of turns the game into feeling like a Monster Hunter a little bit, where you're a pack of weak little dudes that's all trying to collectively take on this nightmarishly durable creature. But Toaster's really getting us like deep into the lore and unpacking a lot of what's happening and what things mean, which is helpful because most people can't keep up, including me. For me, they took the Dark Souls storytelling approach and its kind of obtuseness and vagueness and combined that with it being not only just an absolutely massive game, so there's so much of it to try to connect to each other, but also it's a story you experience non-linearly, so who knows what order to even process the information in. So it's been a struggle for me to unpack exactly what's happening in this game. I've been reviewing more and more videos as I get started on this series with the hopes of getting some of it to make more sense, so I can then react accordingly to future stuff, hopefully. But we'll see how that goes. For me, it's like on top of having a nightmarish amount of similar names, like America and Miquella and so on, and all of the Ronnie, Rena type names and so on, and then the people who are lying about their names, like both Ronnie and the first guy, who's also kind of almost the last guy. It's a lot to unpack. The comparison I've given a few times is that I compare some of the storytelling and having to follow it is like trying to build a Lincoln log set, but you're putting the logs on out of order, but you're putting them in the correct location. So like you'll like put log 34 up in the air where it's supposed to go, but because the surrounding logs aren't in place yet, which would be the context of that piece of lore and characterization and so on, it just falls back to the floor again. And you're like, well, that's that item description. I read it. I couldn't place it though. And that's how a lot of the story goes struggle-wise, where I'm like, I'm not ignoring it, I just can't build the cabin out of it. And that's, for me, it's like what I find interesting about unpacking that and how some people really do great at processing this stuff and other people don't. It's like, in my head, I'm like, in those kinds of contexts, like, it's one thing to read something, but you can only really remember something if you have context for it and can attach it and contextualize it within other stuff you know. Because if you can't immediately latch onto a larger framework, you're going to immediately lose track of the thing you just read, because it didn't like mean something. Like it has to mean something beyond just being a series of words you happen to read and technically understand the grammar of. So for me, it's like it's bravo to anyone who can follow the stuff on their first try, because damn, that is a cluster of enemies that are probably kind of brutal. Those guys are eating the other guy. Yeah. I'm slightly worried that the ones that are being eaten will just get up and come after me anyway. When I fight the other ones. Uh-huh. I think this might be our chance to do... Oops. I always go to item crafting. No. I still have Lone Wolf Ashes +9. Let's tee shit up. Big fight, let's go. I think they got the blood rage going on there. Ah! 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 My health BR. Oh. That's okay, we'll chalk this up to being a teachable moment. I almost died. Why are you eating each other, but then you just get up and hang out and fight me? Why are you buds with the people who are eating you? Alright, these guys did prove to be surprisingly undurable. It's a bit of a surprise. Teach didn't even have to carry as hard as I thought they might. Hey, I even have my healing back. Let there be bloodstain? Outer God heirloom. Oh my god, a secret passage. You are tall. You are a very tall woman. Wait, you don't have a face. How do you not have a face? There's no head. If I remember correctly, all of the Black Knives were women. As an entire Assassin's Guild. Talisman engraved with the lore of an outer god, raises arcane. The clan, who had lost everything in the great fires, peered upon the corpse of their ancestor, normally an act of sanctity, and saw in its shadow a twisted deity. The clan has suffered such torment that the horrible thing was taken as an object of worship. Lost everything to the great fires, peered upon the corpse of their ancestor, normally in an act of sanctity, and saw its shadow in its shadow twisted deity. Wonder which deity they're talking about here exactly. Yeah, the Blood Fiend's arm. Weapon used by the Blood Fiends, an arm pulled from the corpse of one of their kin and wielded as a makeshift weapon. Having been sanctified by a blood ritual, this armament is capable of spraying blood stored within when executing a strong attack. It's upsetting. Arcane weapon. Sanguine Amaryllis. Grown by blood fiends in pools of blood. Perhaps even the fiends admire blood's beauty. So we've been through most of this stuff, so it's probably it for now. Let's head back to Miquella's Cross. It says Horn Scent. Wait, now there's a third person listed here.
In battle, you can be sure I'll hold my own.
Carved words coalesce. I abandon here the first of the flesh of my body. I abandon here the first of the flesh of my body. So that's Miquella. Miquella's abandoning their flesh. Miquella's the one that's stuck in eternal youth. Sister of Melania. Brother of Melania. Really choke on the name there.
Follow up as long as you.
In battle.
So they left parts of their flesh behind at these 3 crosses, or more of them, if there's more to be found. A lot of people worship Miquella and see them as a source of sanctuary. That's Miquella's Erdtree, the Albinarchs and whatnot are making a pilgrimage because they seek refuge under Miquella. So I'm wondering if these people were also taking refuge under Miquella, only for Miquella to be twisted and horribly changed and became something else, and then they worshipped what was left of him. Seemed to be what was vaguely suggested by that upsetting sounding thing. It could be something else. Like, I don't really know anything about Mesmer. I think Mesmer's the person on the quote-unquote cover of the game. I say quote-unquote, I mean, it's like there's probably a physical release somewhere of the DLC bundled with the game, or even a standalone copy of the DLC as a physical purchase you can get, even though it's functionally probably just a download code or something. And that probably I think that might also have Mesmer on the cover. There's the cross. A bit harder to see during the day. And new people to meet. Friend or foe? Takes me a moment to figure which side of you is the front, because, like, am I looking at hair or beard?
You must be the Tarnished. I am Ansbach. Formerly in service to Lord Moog, but now, like you, another soul guided by kindly Miquella. I'm hardly the steady hand I once was. My fighting days are far behind me, which is why I have chosen to dedicate myself to investigation, to discern tender Miquella's ultimate purpose. I'd rather not volunteer service to a new master unless I know that I can be of use. May I request a service of you? 6 crosses identical to this one have been discovered in these lands. They are akin to tender Miquella's footprints, or gravestones, which mark what he's left behind. If you discover any more crosses, be certain to tell me. I presume you, too, are keen to know just what kind Miquella is doing here. If you discover any more crosses, be certain to tell me. I presume you, too, are keen to know just what kind Miquella is doing here.
Miquella is so great that they're literally called Kind Miquella by people. They're totally the final boss, aren't they? We're gonna fight him at the very end of the whole thing, and it's gonna be like heartbreaking. It'll be in either a field of flowers or a big plateau with a bunch of like pillars in the distance, or a beach full of swords. I know how From Software games end. He's got jars.
Hello there. Together, we work. Together, for Miquella the Kind. Many things we have found.
So, resistance items, mushrooms, not resin. Note, sealed spirit springs. Hello. Wanna know what that means? Everything else is pretty normal. Rune arcs. Not that expensive either.
I like finding things. For you, Lady Leda, her allies, and the forager brute. Things bring joy to all.
Aw. You're nice. I'm sure nothing bad happens to you. Alright, these souls aren't really worth anything. Flowers. These are all in their own categories, huh? Oh, recent items. Whoops. Just wanted to look at my consumable souls. There we go. They're all in a shared category. But my most expensive normal ones are only worth 6,000. But I have 7 of them. So I have like, I don't know, 40,000 worth of them, I guess. It's not nothing, but it is not that much. I think we're so far in that you don't functionally level from hard souls anymore. They just aren't worth enough. And it's like a huge expenditure of like, sell off 40 different items worth of souls to clear the gap when you're like trying to... They'll cap me off. If I'm about to level, I could see if they'll fix it.
I like for you, things bring...
He seems nice. He definitely dies. You need to gird your fifis and not let them get you. Don't get attached to a 10-foot tall wolf husband, because they'll break your heart. You never get to keep them. Also, they're cowards for making Henri's gender change based on your gender. Cowards. Do. Gee, I wonder what happened to all these people. What could it be? Dude, Torrent is such a player killer just for having that turn radius. Just for like, oh, what's up with this cliff? Ah, nothing. I guess I'll turn around. Whoop! Just launch into space. No! You just see all these poor players try to Wile E. Coyote their way back to the ledge to no avail. Oh, right. If you're just joining us in this DLC and not the main game, if you're wondering why I have a holy build but don't have like a bunch of the cool holy spells, yeah. I was annoyed too. Goldmask's questline is hard to follow and not miss anything. So it broke. So I just don't get the best holy vendor in the game as far as I can remember. Big door! Strong man, big door! Oh! I hate that. I hate that so much. There's a Bloodborne moment for you, just how upsetting it is to open this door. Is he just camping the inside of this door now? What did he say? Door ahead. Yeah, that's the real message. Oh, it's horrible. Okay, not that hard to kill. Oh. Probably more. God, that's like that time you open a door in Bloodborne and there's a billion horrifying spiders. And you're like, you thought you knew what spiders looked like. Because you already fought spiders in this game. But that room just blindsides you with much worse spiders. A second spider that's just way scarier to look at. And there's so many. And you're like, why? Why would any person make this? I hate you. Group ahead, and then be wary of up. The pots, maybe? Little scorps. Little scorps. Oh, that was like a grapple jump. I didn't like that. Is there an even bigger one? Probably upstairs, I guess. No! Stop it. Stop it. No. Hey! Are we done yet? It's hard to tell if there's more. I think I am out of skittering noises. No. There are baby scorps hiding amidst... No. They're waiting for me to grab it. I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. I hate you so much. Did they not come down still? I was so spooked that I didn't even read what they are. There they come. I did not like seeing them hang like that. Why are they? They're scorpions, they're not spiders. Scorpions are arachnids, but they can't spin a web as far as I'm aware. So that's just a cruel invention of their fiction. Weirdly, they seemed like they couldn't see me. Big scorp. Nope. Stop it. Don't exist. What happened to all the other scorpions that dropped down? Are they stuck? Is your AI a little dumb? I think your AI might be a little dumb. I want to go home and then edge. This person's tired of all the bugs and wants to go home and jump off a cliff. Is how I read that message. That's my lore interpretation. Ah! Stop it. Okay, the big one is mercifully easy to kill. Or what it is. Which is an abomination. Gonna have to watch out for that big guy, because that's one that if I die and have to run back, that one will blindside me around the corner and become a real problem. These lions have omen horns. That is not normal for them. Not falling for that. Behold the dog. No, that is man. Well, alrighty then. Doing all right. Next episode, we tour modern-day Belarus. There we go.